Okay, so ayan guys, welcome to the part 2 of our discussion ng ating topic about principles of structural analysis and design. Okay, so without further ado, so let us start answering questions. Okay, so situation 6 na po tayo class. Okay, so sabi po dito, refer to the figure. So the earth dam shown is held in place by its own weight. So we have the dimension A to be 2, base dimension B 14, and then height of the water on the upstream side is 9 meters, and total height of our earth dam is 12 meters. And then sabi po dito that alpha is equal to beta. So if they are the same, therefore ito ay magiging symmetrical na trapezoid, no? And then the unit weight of the soil is 17.3 kilonewton per cubic meter. So ano daw po yung factor of safety against overturning? Next, ano yung factor of safety against sliding with the coefficient of friction being 0.45? And then determine the eccentricity of the resultant force at the base of the dam. Okay. So sasabihin nyo, sir, analysis of dam, it should be under the hydraulics and geotechnical engineering, no? So supposedly, ganun nga sana siya. However, ito po ay passboard, no? So literal na lumabas po siya sa structural. So bakit sir nasa structural? Siguro for a reason na ang ina-analyze naman natin kasi dito class ay mga forces. So forces is under engineering mechanics. So basically, siguro that is the reasoning of the examiner, no? Bakit in-include ito sa PSAD. Okay, so kayang-kaya naman natin to class. Okay, una, list out muna natin yung mga given. So I believe this one here is 2. Okay, this one here is 14. This one here is 9. And then this one here is 12. Ngayon, sa figure na binigay ko class, no? So, for general purpose of discussion, so, pinag-iba ko yung slope, no? Pero sinabi nga kasi class, pantay. So, definitely, kung ano yung triangle na mabuo ko dito sa left side, siyang triangle din dito sa right side, no? So imagine niyo na lang class na pantay po sila. So ibig sabihin, ito may dimension na 2. So kung 14 yon, hatiin natin ng 2 equal parts yung matitirang 12. So it should be 7 here and 7 here. Okay, so paano sir ang magiging solution? So ang gagawin natin dito class ay let's start by identifying all the forces acting doon sa ating earth dam. So, ang gagawin natin class, dun sa force, due to the fluid, so ang gagawin natin dito class ay components method, no? So, as you may remember, so, okay, check natin tong ink na to. Okay, so di ba ganyan yung pressure diagram? 0 at the top, and then linearly increasing. Okay, so from this pressure, may mabubuo po siyang equivalent na force, no? At tatawagin natin yung class as the horizontal component, okay, of the hydrostatic force, no? Which would be located at the centroid of the pressure diagram. In this case, triangular centroid is at 1/3 of the total height, H1. Okay, so meron na tayo ditong force. Sabihin natin FH1. And then, by components also, so as you can see, there is a region here, this one. Okay, this is a real fluid that is parang nakatungtong doon sa wall nung dam po natin. So, which means, na ito po ay magsisilbing vertical component, no? Whatever's the volume of that would be our FV. Sabihin natin FV1. Alright? And then aside to those forces, of course, merong mga forces, no? Due to weight, yung ating structure. So, para ma-simplify natin siya, So, ginawa na natin siyang triangle, rectangle, triangle for us to easily identify where would be the centroid, no? So, centroid of this triangle is here. Okay, so sabihin natin ito ay weight 1. So, centroid of this rectangle is here. So, sabihin natin weight 2. And then, centroid of this would be here. Sabihin natin weight 3. So, since yung section 1 natin, class, no? Okay. Wait lang. Okay, so since again, yung section 1 natin dito na nagdudulot ng W1 is the same as to section 3, no? Na nagbibigay ng W3. So, we can say that W1 equals W3. So, wala naman nabanggit class tungkol sa uplift, no? So, hindi natin siya para i-consider. Okay, so, ayan. Isolve na natin class isa-isa yung forces. So, FH1. So, as you may remember from your fluid mechanics, it is gamma H bar area. Okay, so i-consider nating area dito yung vertical projection nung wall nung dam natin, no? So, in this case, it would be gamma is 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. H bar would be the half of the total height na 9. So, it should be 9/2. And then, area perpendicular to the paper would be 9 meters high by 1 meter width. Okay, so, ang gagawin natin class, no, store natin to sa letter A. Okay, so, next naman class, FV1, it is the weight of the real fluid, which would be represented by gamma times volume. So, we have gamma of the fluid is again 9.81. Okay, kilonewton per cubic meter. So, what would be the volume? So, let's start with the cross-sectional area. 1/2. So, ang tanong, gaano po ito? Okay, gaano po ito kahaba hanggang dito? Gets po ba? So, gaano kahaba yan? So, ang gagawin natin class, similar triangles. So, as you can see, okay, this triangle here is similar to this triangle here, no? So, mag-RNP muna tayo, class. So, by ratio and proportion. So, say for example, this is dimension x. So, we will have base x. Ang kapartner niyang height is 9. So, this is proportional to the base na. Okay, so wait lang, no? So, this one here is not 7. Kasi 14 minus 2 is 12. Tapos, hatiin natin ng pantay. It should be 6. 6 and 6 here. Okay, so we have x over 9 is proportional to. So, the base is 6 for a height of 12. Alright, so we will have x to be 1/2 of 9, I believe. So, it should be 4.5 meters. Okay, going back to FV. So, gamma, 9.81. Volume is 1/2. Base is 4.5. Height is 9. And then, considering 1 meter width. Alright, so let us store this to letter B. Okay, next. Weight 1. So, ganun din po yan, gamma volume. But in this case, since we are dealing with weight of the dam, okay, basahin nyo maigi class. Baka kasi gawin yung concrete. Class, sinabi, earth dam. So, pag earth dam, ibig sabihin, it is made up of soil, no? So, kaya ang gagamitin natin, class, yung unit weight ng soil, no? Hindi palaging concrete. Okay, so let's use 17.3. Okay, hindi ko nalagay yung units class, no? Kasi na-practice ko na dun sa unang dalawa. So, gamma, volume would be, so 1/2, base niya is 6, height niya is 12, and then we consider 1 meter width. So, lagay natin to sa C. Okay? And then, weight 2, gamma, volume. So, again, 17.3. Okay, volume being 2 times 12 times 1. And then, let's store this to D. And then, yung weight 3, sabi nga natin, by symmetry, kapantay niya lang si weight 1. So, this is yung nasa C lang din. Okay. So, start tayo, class. Okay, let's talk about factor of safety against overturning. So, sabihin na lang natin Fs sub O. Okay, so factor of safety in general, class, is parang ano to, no? Ratio ng mga resistive forces or yung mga kakampi mo ba divided by yung forces that will cause yung failure. So in this case, overturning ang pinag-uusapan. So yung mga kakampi mo dito, class, is yung mga righting moment. So yung magkukos naman ng failure would be the overturning moment. So ito yung factor of safety, no? So anyways, after itong step 1 na ito, no, pag-compute ng mga forces, another thing that you must calculate here is yung resultant. Okay, so ibig sabihin, syempre, pag samasamahin mo yung mga vertical forces, so meron ditong resultant na Ry. Okay? Tapos, pag samasamahin mo rin yung mga horizontal, kung marami man sila, so in this case, nag-iisa lang siya. So meron tayo ditong Rx. Okay, so sana nare-read naman siya, no? So medyo malabo lang. So ano mangyayari, class? So syempre, yung lupa magre-resist, no? So syempre, gagawin lang yan, class. May resistance dito. Basically, Ry din. And then dito, may resistance. Yung resistance due to friction. Okay? So, basically, yung friction na ito, class, ang i-offer niya is Rx lang din, no? Provided mahina lang yung Rx. Pero let's talk about yung yung limiting value ng friction. So from your statics, class, yung maximum friction na pwedeng ma-develop, class, may be the value mu times n. So class, remember, ito yung tawagin nating limiting static friction. Okay? So, lagyan nga natin, class, to be specific, ito ay mu sub s times the normal force, no? Ibig sabihin, ito yung maximum amount ng friction na pwede niya pong i-offer. Pero it doesn't mean na ito agad yung i-offer niya, no? So, halimbawa, ano lang to, 100 kN lang. Tapos, yung capacity niya, 500 kN. So, yung i-offer niya lang, class, yung pangangailangan lang, no? So, kung 100 ito, 100 lang din. Parang ganun. Okay? So, ang purpose lang naman itong limiting static friction, as you may remember, class, is para malaman natin kung mag-i-slide ba or not. Kasi, halimbawa, ganun ulit, no? Halimbawa, yung limiting value, 500 kN. Tapos, yung horizontal force here, resultant R sub X is, 1,000. So, ano mangyayari? So, dahil mas malakas yung tulak kaysa dun sa resistance, wala na siya magagawa kundi mag-i-slide. Okay? So, ganun lang naman. Okay, but anyways, gets na natin, class, no? So, lagay natin dito. Okay, so sino magiging Rx dyan, class? Yung Rx natin ay basically si FH1 lang. So, we have yung nakastore lang sa A. Okay? While yung Ry natin, class, would be the summation of all vertical forces. So, that would be yung nakastore sa B plus yung C plus yung D plus another C. No? Yung FV1 plus weight 1 plus weight 2 plus weight 3. Okay? So, that would be the next step. No, actually. First step, isolve yung forces. Next step, isolve yung resultant / reaction. Okay? Next, So, lagay nga natin. And para step by step tayo. Step 1 is this. Ito na yung ating step 2. Alright? So, step 3, actually, solve na natin class yung mga moments, no? So, pag nagmo-moment tayo class, as you may remember, we take the moment about the toe. Okay? Overturning yung magkakos na mag-overturn, basically yung structure. Writing yung mga pipigil na mag-overturn yung structure. So, yung magkakos lang na mag-overturn about this toe is yung FH1. So, start tayo with overturning moment. So, it would be the FH1. So, moment arm. So, dahil ito, nandito po siya, no? So, it should be 1/3 of the total height 9. It should be 3 meters. So, times 3. So, kung magkano naman ito, class, ang gawin naman natin, store naman natin siya sa letter E. Alright? Sobrahin muna natin tong ano na to. Mamaya na natin tong kunin. Okay, wait lang ah. Okay. Rewrite ko lang class, no, para maayos yung ating solution. So, step 2, solve natin si Rx na again, parang si A lang siya. Solve natin si Ry na summation ng B plus C plus D and then another C. Okay? Next. Dito na lang. Step number 3. Yung mga moments, no? Overturning moment is again FH1 times moment arm 3 meters. No? Whatever is this, store natin sa new variable, say E. Okay, next. Writing moment. So, dito kailangan praktisado kayo kumuha ng moment arm, no? So, una, si FV1. So, what would be its moment arm? Okay, mula sa toe. So, how far is that from here? So, sulat natin na ganito. So, gaano kalayo yun, class? Okay, so ang gawin nating reference, class, yung total distance, no? From toe hanggang dito sa kabilang side, no, yung heel, it is 14. So, itong triangle na ito, so ang location ng centroid, ng shaded region, ay 1/3 of the base being x. So, this one here is 1/3 of x. Ito, no? Ayan, ito ay 1/3 of x. So, basically, ang matitira would be, magkano, class? 14 minus yung 1/3 of x. So, that would be our moment arm. 14 minus 1/3 of x being 4.5. Okay, next. Plus weight 1. Weight 1. So, how far is weight 1 from? Okay, from our reference point, the toe. So, ito naman, class, ang gagamitin nating diskarte is, again, 14 ang total, minus natin yung, so, yung dito naman, no, from here to here, ito naman ay 2/3 ng base ng triangle, no, base being 6. So, the answer is 14 minus 2/3 of 6. Okay, lagay lang natin, class. 14 minus 2/3 of 6. Okay, plus weight 2. So, ito madali lang, class. Okay, so from the centroid up to here, how far is that? So, that would be kalahati ng 2, no? So, that would be 1 plus yung base dimension dito sa left side is 6. So, sagot 7, no? Or 1 plus 6. 1 plus 6. And then finally, weight 3. So, how far is weight 3 from the toe? So we only need this distance. So it would be represented by 2/3 of the base na 6. 2/3 of 6. Okay, whatever is this, ilagay natin sa letter F. Okay, so sige. Ano muna tayo, class? Store muna tayo. So we have 9.81 times. So parang 9 squared yun, no? Divided by 2. And then times 1. So hindi ko na ita-type. Store ko na sa A. Alright. So next, 9.81 times 0.5 times 4.5 times 9 times 1. 9.81.5 by 4.5 by 9. So store to B. Okay, next 17.3 times 0.5 times 6 times 12 times 1. Alright, lagay natin sa C. Next, 17.3 times 2 times 12 times 1. So, store naman natin sa D. So, next thing to store is yung moments, no? So, FH1 is yung nakalagay sa A. Alright, nakalagay sa A times 3. So, ito ilagay natin sa overturning moment sa E. Next, FV1, yung nakastore sa B. Moment arm, 14 minus 1/3 of 4.5. Okay, plus W1 is yung nakastore sa C. Okay, and then moment arm is 14 minus 2/3 of 6 plus W2 nakastore sa D. Quantity, 7 na lang, 1 plus 6 plus W3, yung nakastore ulit sa C. And quantity, 2/3 times 6. Whatever is this, let us store this to F. Okay. Pwede na po tayo mag-answer. Okay, so, ayan. Unang tanong, again, factor of safety, no? So we have factor of safety against overturning. Again, kakampi mo na pumigil mag-overturn would be the writing moments. And yung kalaban mo, no, na magkakos ng failure with respect to overturning would be the overturning moment. So it is yung nakastore sa F divided by nakastore sa E. Okay, so ano kaya ang sagot? Na-store ko ba? Okay, F divided by E. Okay, so sagot 11.84. Okay, so tama ba ang ating answer? Okay, correct. So napakalaking factor of safety, ibig sabihin, okay, this is greater than 1, ibig sabihin safe. At hindi lang safe, no? Very safe. Kasi ang laki ng allowance eh. Okay? So next, factor of safety against sliding. So, kakampi mo class is yung, again, limiting static friction, which is the mu Ry. So, ito yung pinakamalaking pwede mong i-offer, while the force, no, that will cause the failure with respect to sliding would be the Rx. Tama ba? Yung resultant along X siya magkakos mag-slide. Yung mu Ry siya naman yung pamigil. Okay, so I think binigyan tayo netong mu. Okay, 0.45. Okay, wait lang ah. Sumobra. Ayan, 0.45. Okay, so ang gawin natin, substitute lang natin. 0.45 of what? Again, Ry, as you remember, ito yung expression na B plus C plus D plus C. Okay, while the Rx would be yung nakastore sa A. Okay, so factor of safety against sliding is okay, so we have 0.45 quantity B. So gagawin ko ng ano no, plus 2C plus D divided by A. Okay, so the answer is 2.11. So this is also greater than 1. Therefore, safe din siya with respect to sliding. So ang question, tama po ba? Alright, correct. Okay, next question, eccentricity, no? Pag sabi mong eccentricity, it is the distance nung resultant force or nung reaction from the centroid. Okay? So, di ba sabi ko nga class, yung soil magre-react yan eh. Isang normal saka isang sliding. So, pag-usapan natin tong normal, na which is basically equal lang din sa Ry. So, ngayon class, yung center line natin class ay syempre matatagpuan sa gitna, no? So, which is this one. This is our center line, no? Which will divide our base into two equal parts, 7 meters here and 7 here. Okay? So, actually, kung praktisado kayo class sa ano neto, no? Sa fluid mech, ito, tawag natin dito x bar. Tapos, eccentricity, yung distance from the center line, no? Ito yung E. Na, class, turo ko na lang class yung formula, no? To solve for x bar, ito ay writing moment minus overturning moment divided by Ry. Or parang nag-varignons lang siya dyan, class eh. Okay. So, makuha natin yung x bar. And then, as you may remember also, E is, kasi generally speaking, di ba magkano nga to? Generally speaking, we call this B over 2. So, ibig sabihin, eccentricity is B over 2 minus x bar. So, ganun natin siya atakihin, no? So, lalagyan ko lang ng absolute value because there are instances na mas malaki yung x bar kaysa B over 2. Okay, so ganun lang class. E di magiging ano to class? X bar would be writing moment nasa F minus overturning moment nasa E. Okay, divided by our Ry, which is yung B, plus dalawang C, plus D. Okay, whatever is this, lagay mo naman sa X. Para ito ngayon, magiging B over 2. So, 14 divided by 2 minus yung nasa X. Okay, so pindot na lang class. Okay, F minus E divided by B plus 2C plus D. So this quantity, lagay natin daw sa X. And then 14 divided by 2 minus X. Okay, so there we have it. Our eccentricity is 0.0534 meters. Okay, so are we correct? Okay, correct. Alright. Okay, so tawid na tayo class ng next situation. Okay, so refer to the given figure. So the rectangular footing, okay, is subjected to an axial load of 1,200 kilonewton and a moment of 360 kilonewton meter. It is required to determine the safe gross bearing capacity of the soil to support the given load. No? So the unit weight of the concrete and soils are 23.5 and 18 kilonewton per cubic meter respectively. So, tanong is ano daw yung maximum foundation pressure as well as what is the minimum foundation pressure, and then ano yung required gross allowable soil bearing capacity. Okay? So, paano magiging atake natin dito, class? So, ito parang ano lang to, no? Combined axial and bending. So, ibig sabihin, for the stress, okay, ang magiging formula natin would be plus minus force over area plus minus M, ano bang magandang gamitin, class? So, lagyan muna natin nga ng axis para alam ko yung gagamitin kong symbol. So, suppose that this is our x-axis na lang, no? Tapos, ito na lang tawagin nating y-axis. So, in a sense, parang nandito yung moment, no? Nakaganyan po siya. So, which means, siya po ay isang moment about y. Kuha po ba? Okay, ito ay isang moment about y. So, kung siya ay isang my, ang kailangan niyang kapartner, class, ay mga x distances, at yung kailangan nating I ay syempre yung resistance about moment about the y. So, we have here IY. Alright. Okay, so pag-usapan natin, class, no? Due to the pure compression, no, axial force P, so we are expecting na meron na ditong uniform soil pressure. Okay, so ganyan siya, no? Okay, but with the presence of the moment, as you may see, so, tignan mo lang, class, kung paano umikot ito. So, as you can see, dinidiinan niya yung portion na nandito sa right side, while itong nasa left side, parang hinuhugot pataas. So, which would mean na ano? Di ibig sabihin, okay, dito, mako-compress, okay, while, okay, wait lang ayusin natin yung figure. Okay, dito na lang. So, may additional compression dito. Pero dito, as we may see nga, is para siyang matetension. Okay? Pero liliitan ko lang, class. Okay, wait nga lang. Ayusin natin. So, lakihan ko tong magnitude ng due to axial load P. Yan. Kunwari ganyan. Tapos, yung effect naman ng moment, say for example, maliit lang, na magdadagdag lang siya dito ng maliit na value. Tapos, on the other side, magbabawas lang ng maliit na value, something like that. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung mga portion sa may left, na-decrease, no? While yung mga portion na nandito sa right, nag-increase yung soil pressure. No? Which would mean na ito yung magiging equivalent figure, no? So, dito, medyo lumiit. Yung natira na lang dito, no? While this one, malaki. So, gawin natin ito. So, this is with the assumption na still, may natira pa rin compression, no? So, be-verify na lang natin mamaya. Okay, kung still nako-compress pa ba tong side na to. Ito. Kasi may tendency yan, class, na sa sobrang laki ng hugot na tension, so, mauubos yung compression, no? So, may ganong senaryo. Okay, so, ito yung magiging Qmax. Kumbaga, ito yung critical na dapat that the soil must be able to sustain this amount of soil pressure. So, ito naman sa kabila yung Qmin. Okay, so, sige. Paano gagawin, class? So, Q is the same as to sigma notation dito, ha? Siya lang din yung Q. Okay, so let's start with Q is equal to, ano nga yung force? I believe this is 1, 2 kilonewton. So, balikan muna natin. Ano yung MY? 360. Okay, this one here is 360 kilonewton meter. Okay, so dito po tayo sa point na nandito, class, for maximum. So, that is either this or this. No? Basically, they will share the same amount of soil pressure. Kasi isang bending lang meron tayo, no? Moment about Y lang. So, Q would be, so, let us use negative for compression and then positive for tension. So, we know that the effect of the force P is compression. So, lagay ko negative 1, 2. Okay, and then the area is 3 meter by 2.5 meters. And then, with respect to the effect of the moment, as we may see from the figure, na-compress nga rin po siyang further. So, another minus moment is 360. So, relative from your neutral axis, no? Kasi ito yung magsisilbi mong neutral axis. When we are trying to see a bending about Y, so ito yung neutral axis natin or yung location ng centroid. So, from the centroid, what is the x distance nitong point being considered? So, ano yung x niyan? So, that is kalahati ng 3, no? We have 1.5. So, we have 1.5 divided by IY. So, as you may remember, that is parang HB cube, no? Ito yung parang H mo. Ito yung B mo, no? So, HB cube over 12. Okay, so divided by 2.5 by 3 cube divided by 12. So, this would be our Q max. Okay, maximum soil pressure is, okay, let's use our calcu. Okay, negative 1, 2 over 3 by 2.5, then minus, okay, 360 times 1.5 over 2.5 by 3 cube divided by 12. So, we have negative 256. Okay, kPa ang output. So, yung negative dito, class, hindi na natin masyadong papansinin sa susunod na calculation, no? But what we know is that negative, ibig sabihin, nako-compress yung lupa. And then, that is okay. Kasi yung lupa, may kapasidad talaga yung mag-resist ng compression. Pero, pag tension kasi, yun yung hindi kaya ng lupa, no? So, yun yung i-check natin on the other side. So, for the Q minimum, so, yun po yung nasa left side. So, nako-compress pa rin naman yan due to the force P. So, still negative 1, 2 over 3 by 2.5. So, the only difference is that due to moment, nahuhugot po siya. So, tension po yung effect, no? So, positive 360. So, we are talking about the point here. So, that is represented sa plan view nito saka nito. So, fortunately, yung x niya is also 1.5 from your considered neutral axis. So, 1.5 pa rin ito. And then, IY is still 2.5. 3 cube divided by 12. No? So, Q minimum is, okay, gagawin lang natin itong plus. Okay, so, ayun, nakita nyo, class, is still negative, which means na that the soil on that side is under compression pa rin, no? So, ibig sabihin okay lang. Okay, so check nga muna nga natin kung tama yung sagot. Okay, so there we have 256 and 64. So, ngayon, class, ano yung gross allowable? Okay, ito kasi, ito yung soil pressure, no? Kung tayo ay magdi-design na, ito yung tinatawag nating Q net Okay? Kumbaga dapat at least yung lupa mo may matitirang ganito pa siyang kapasidad, no, na 256 para ma-sustain yung actual loads, no, due to the structure. But as you may remember, yung Q allowable should be able to carry all the loads, no, aside dun pa sa due to the structure. So meron ng QNet na pangangailangan due to the structure. So as you can see, yung lupa kasi na nandito sa level na to class, ano pa ba yung mga binubuhat niya? So binubuhat niya tong soil above here. So this is Q soil. So syempre, kailangan ma-sustain din niya yung mabuhat, no? And then yung pressure due to weight of the concrete here. So therefore, yung QA should be, kaya niyang buhatin yung QNet. Tapos, kaya niya rin buhatin pa yung due to soil. Plus, kaya niya pa rin gamitin yung due to the weight of the concrete. Plus, kung sakasakali, no, let us make it general. So, dito may surcharge, QS. So, dapat sinasama rin yun, QS. So, sa scenario lang natin, class, wala lang namang QS. So, neglect lang natin, no? So, QA would be, so again, dito, di-disregard na natin yung sign, no? So, 256 plus yung due to soil, balikan natin yung data, 18. So, Q is gamma height. So, we will have gamma is 18. Ang height ng soil is 1.5. Plus yung concrete footing. So, we have 23.5 gamma with its height of 0.7. And then plus, walang surcharge, 0. Okay. So, our QA should be at least magkano? So, 256 plus 18 by 1.5. Okay, plus 23.5 times 0.7. Okay, so we have 299.45 kPa. Alright, so are we correct? Okay, so the nearest from the choices is 300. So we are correct. Okay. Next. Ito terms lang class, no? So identify the property of the materials described by the following. So sa board exam class, may mga terms din pong lumalabas, no? So it is important that familiar po kayo sa mga terms, no, na usually ginagamit in the field of engineering. So una, the material deforms considerably even with a slight increase in stress. So the answer here is yielding, no? So ito nga yung class yung sa drawing ng stress strain diagram, no, na continuously nagde-deform or may nade-develop na strain doon sa material even with a small amount of stress increase. So, we call it nag-yield na, no? Yielding na po siya. Okay, the material regains its original dimension when loaded is removed. So, pag bumabalik sa original shape, therefore, we are still on the elastic region. So, therefore, it is defined as the elasticity, no, of the material. Okay, and then the material deforms in the plastic range without breaking. So this material property is what we call ductility, no? Yung capacity ng material na actually ang ibang terms dito class is ano, yung pwede mo siyang gawing thin wires, no, without breaking. So usually mga ductile materials ay si steel, no? Yan. Okay. Dito tayo class sa next situation. So refer to the figure. So we have here a column, no, which is T section. So with the following reinforcement. So we have ito daw yung AS1, yung mga nandito. So ito daw yung 6 na pirasong 25 mm. While ito yung AS2 So, ito daw ay 4 na pirasong 25 mm. So, this dimension here is 250, 450. Yung B1 is 200. Ito, 300. Material properties, 28 MPa for concrete, 415 MPa for steel. So, another data is 10 mm yung diameter ng ties or hoops. And then, we have here clear cover of 40 millimeters. Now, assume that for all bars, Fs equals Fy. So, lahat nag-yield. So, determine the distance of the plastic centroid of the section from line 1 along x-axis. So, ito yung line 1, no? Yung face na nandito sa left side. So, how far is the plastic centroid? So, class, ano nga ulit ang definition ng plastic centroid? So, plastic centroid, parang ito yung location kung saan pag nilagay mo yung force, we will be expecting na uniform stresses ang madedevelop dun sa ating material. Alright? So, para lang tayo naghahanap ng centroid nito, class, pero with the consideration ng forces. Okay? So, paano gagawin natin, class? Actually, the solution here would involve, no, yung pagmo-model sa mode 3-2, no? So, with the frequency na naka-turn on. So, actually, pwede na nga yung mode 3-1, no? For this scenario. Pwede na to, no? Optional ang mode 3-1. Okay, wait lang. Burayin natin. So, pwede na nga rin si mode 3-1. It is up to you kasi yung y-axis or yung column kasi ng y, hindi rin kasi natin magagamit due to the symmetry of the structure. Okay? Ano bang gagawin natin? So, mode 3-1 tayo, class. Okay, punta muna kayo dito. Mode 3-1. So, kailangan naka-on yung frequency. So, to do that, shift mode down, and then 4 stat, and then frequency on 1. Okay, anong gagawin? So, basically, sa X, okay, dito natin lalagay yung coordinate ng centroid. Okay? Tapos, sa frequency, diba usually nilalagay natin dito yung area lang. Pag centroid lang, no? So, kapag ganun kasi geometric centroid ang tawag, pag area lang ang reference mo. Pero kapag kino-consider mo yung strength of the material involved, so plastic centroid nga siya, no? So, ang ilalagay natin dito, class, is yung force. Okay? So, how do we get the force? Depende, no? Depende. Kapag concrete, edi 0.85 F'C area ng concrete. Kapag steel, edi ano ba yung AS, tapos multiply natin sa Fy. Kuha? Okay. So, anong gagawin natin, class? Let us divide the figure into shapes na madaling malaman yung area as well as madaling malaman yung centroid. Okay? So, ganito. Ito yung magiging division natin, class, no? That we have this rectangle and this rectangle. Okay? Tapos, ihilera ko lang dito, no? So, dito, may steel dito, 4 dito, 2, tapos dito, okay, 4. Now, actually, itong concrete na nandito sa taas, may butas sana to Ayan, may butas yan dyan. Okay, kaso pag binutasan kasi natin yan, class, magiging mahirap sa part natin maghanap ng centroid. No, imagine rectangle lang sana yan. So, yung centroid niya nasa gitna sana Eh kaso may mga openings, no? May butas. So what will happen? So syempre wala na sa gitna yung centroid, mahihirapan tayo. So ang gagawin natin, itong mga butas na to, okay, isasama natin yan dito. Okay, itong dalawang butas na to, dito rin yan. So paano mangyayari? So i-imaginein natin ngayon, ito, okay, so sana nafa-follow ha. Ito, magiging solid na rectangle. Okay? Paburahin ko to ha. Tapos, ito, sasamahan natin ng, imagine mo no, yung black region, yung steel, tas kulayan ko ng pula, yung concrete opening. Ayan, na ganyan po siya. And also, ganoon na rin po dito, no? So, ano magiging implication? Okay. So, tawagin natin ito class, no? Lagyan natin ng mga pangalan. This is 1. Okay, this is 2. So, etong sa linya na to, kaya ko malaman yung centroid nilang sabay-sabay. So, sabihin kong 3. Ito sa linya na ito, kaya ko rin kunin yung centroid nila sabay-sabay. Sabihin kong 4. And also with this one, for this line of steel, so, sabihin kong 5. Okay, so sulat na natin class. Practice. Now, for area 1, so what would be the frequency lalagay natin? So, magkano yung force na binubuhat niya? So, we have 0.85. So, wait nga lang. Lagyan muna natin ng data. I believe this is 250, 450, 200, 300, 200. Okay, and then as I remember, F prime C is 28. And then Fy is 415. Okay, so we have 0.85 Fc prime. What would be the area of that region? So ito ay 250 by 200, 300, 200. So this is 700. So we will have 250 by 700. Okay, and then relative from the line 1. So, nandito yung kanyang centroid. Tama ba? So, relative from, kasi dito tayo magsusukat class ng x distances. So, mula dito sa face na to, okay, gaano po siya kalayo? Okay, this one. So, basically, half of 250, no? So, lagay natin dito, okay, 250 divided by 2. Okay? Next, for the next region, yung etong 2 na nilabelan ko. So, what would be yung force being carried by that section? So, we will have 0.85 Fc prime. So, yung dimension niya, 450 ito. Tapos, this one is 300. No? So, area being 450 and 300. So, tingin dun sa complete na figure. So, yung centroid niya nandito, no? Ayan, ito yun. Kunin natin yung mga centroid nila. So, how far is that from our reference line? So, dapat magaling kayo mag-imagine, no? So, this is what? 250 plus kalahati ng 450. So, 450 divided by 2. Okay, so doon tayo sa mga steel groups. So, yung first line, no? Itong 3. So, anong gagawin dyan, class? Supposedly, doon muna tayo sa AS. Ano area niyan, class? E di, 4 na pirasong pi over 4. Tapos, 25 squared. AS. Ngayon, supposedly, Fy lang to, no? 415. 415. Okay, para doon sa black na region, Fy. Eh, kaso di ba may butas nga? So, kumbaga parang ito, AS, Fy. Para naman dun sa butas, di yung area ng concrete na butas na yun ay represented by AS. Okay, wait lang. So, yung area ng concrete, wait, nabura. Wait lang Yan. So, yung area of the concrete opening here is AS. Tapos, dahil concrete siya, so dapat times 0.85 FC prime. Kuha po ba? So, itong AS na to, siya yung area ng concrete opening. Nakapantay nga lang si AS. So, dahil concrete siya, 0.85 FC prime. And then, dahil opening siya, it should be deductive. So, ano mangyayari, class? In simple terms, pwede siyang isimplify as AS tapos FY minus 0.85 FC prime. Kuha po ba? So, ito po yung combined ng ASFY tapos yung opening na sinabay natin sa kanya. Kuha po. So, I hope you get it. So, basically, meron ditong alteration of minus 0.85 of 28. Okay? So, nasaan yung centroid nila? So, tingin dun sa figure, no? So, syempre, centroid nilang 4 nandito. So, how far is that from your reference line? Line 1. So, imagine nyo lang, class, that would be what? Concrete cover, 40, plus yung diameter ng hoops, 10 mm, plus hanggang umabot tayo sa centroid ng steel group. Centroid is kalahati ng diameter. I believe 25 mm yan. So, divided by 2. Okay, so we will continue the process. Next line. So, dalawang pi over 4 times 25 squared. Then again, Fy minus natin yung 0.85 times 28. So, nasa naman yung ano nyan? Centroid netong linya na to. Okay, relative from the reference line 1. So, imagine. So, ang magandang imagination dito, class, mag-start tayo sa 250, yung total. Tapos, pabawas na lang, no? So, 250 is up to here. So, bawas-bawas na lang, minus concrete cover, minus 10, area, diameter ng hoops, and then minus kalahati ng bar diameter. Okay, so wala na akong space. Okay, wait lang. Adjust tayo. Okay, last line, yung I believe 4 rin yun na ano no, 25 mm. So 415 minus 0.85, 28. So how far is the centroid of this steel group measured from the reference line 1? So, again, ang magiging diskarte natin, total distance muna, no? So, total distance hanggang dun sa dulo is 250 plus 450. How much is that? 700, no? So, we have here 700. Bawas na lang. Cover. Diameter ng hoops. Minus kalahati ng bar diameter. 25 divided by 2. Okay, so, ayan. Lista na natin, class, sa ating CalQ. Okay, so we have 250 divided by 2. 250 plus 450 divided by 2. Okay, next, 40 plus 10 plus kalahati ng 25. So, 12.5 na lang. Okay, next, 250 minus 40 minus 10 minus 12.5. Then last, 700 minus 40 minus 10 minus 12.5. Alright, next, frequency. So we have 0.85 times 28 times 250 by 700. Okay, 0.85 times 28 times 450 times 300. So, tiyaga lang po sa pagpindot, ha? O, ito. So, unahin kong itatype dito, class, yung 4 times 25 squared. Tapos, quantity muna. 415 minus 0.85 of 28. And then, saka ko, ita times ng pi over 4. Just to make sure na hindi malilito yung calcu. Kasi pag naglagay ka ng over 4 somewhere in the middle, minsan na-over niya lahat eh. So, baka malito po siya. So, ako, inuna ko muna yung mga numerators, and then sa dulo yung may divide, no? Okay, next. 4 times 20, 2 lang pala. 2 times 25 squared quantity. 415 minus 0.85 times 28. And then times yung naiwang pi over 4. Okay, and then lastly, 4 times 25 squared quantity. 415 minus 0.85 times 28 times pi over 4. Okay. So, after nating ma-model, class, basically, so, kung nandito yung plastic centroid, ito siya. So, hahanapin natin yung location yan relative dun sa reference line natin. Ito yung magiging x-bar. Okay? So, yun lang, class, no? We will just have to look for the x-bar. So, paano kukunin yung x-bar? Kasi matagal to, class, kung magva-varignons tayo ng literal. So, syempre, board exam-wise, let us use the functionality of your calcu. Yung itong mode 3.1 nga, no? Or mode 3.2. Sa mode 3.2, hindi kasi importante yung y, no? So, hindi na natin hinanap pa yung mga y coordinates. So, puro x coordinates ito, class. Okay, so saan tayo pupunta? After modeling, CA, and then apps, and then I believe nandito yan sa S-var. Okay, hanapin ang X-bar. Okay, so sagot 285.70. So that is 285.70 mm from line 1. So it should be the answer. Okay, or naka-exact form ito, no? Naka-rounded off to the nearest whole. So, the answer is 286. Okay? Next, determine the location of the geometric centroid. So, pag geometric centroid, class, wala ka nang pake kung ano yung mga materials na nakikita mo, no? So, what you will need here is just the dimension. So, ibig sabihin, regardless kung may mga steel yan, ang tingin mo dyan, parang isang buong rectangle lang siya. Parang ganun lang ibig sabihin ng class, no? So, you consider this geometrically as one single rectangle. And then, this one is also another rectangle. So, still, ang solution para mapabilis ay mode 3.2 or 3.1. Okay, so again, mode 3.1 tayo, class. X would be the location of the centroid relative from a reference line. And then dito yung frequency for geometric centroid, area lang. Mas madali ito, class, no? Kasi dalawa lang yung kailangan natin dito, no? 1 and 2. So, area 1, as I believe, it is may dimension siyang ano nga yun, class? Diba 250 yung H1 nun? Tapos, total height nun ay 700. Yung pangalawa, I believe this is, ano nga yun? 450. Saka, yung B2 niyan ay, as I remember, 300. O, hanapin mo yung mga centroid nila individually. So, ito yung centroid, ito yung centroid. So, again, dito tayo nagsusukat. Ito yung reference line natin. So, sukatin mo lang gaano kalalayo, no? So, ano lalagay? Eh di ano to? 250 divided by 2. Ito, 250 plus 450 divided by 2. Okay, so just try to look for the value of x bar once again. Okay, actually we can store this, no? Kung magiging importante pa siya mamaya. Okay, so mode 3. Wait lang. Mode 3.1 po ulit tayo. So we have 250 divided by 2. 250 plus 450 divided by 2. Okay, areas are 250 by 700 and 450 by 300. Okay, so apps S var X bar. So we have 277.42. Okay. So slightly magkaiba sila nung kanina, no? So nasa na yan? 277. So the nearest once again is in nearest whole is 277. Okay? So hindi talaga usually nagko-coincide, no? But mas magkalapit lang, no? 285 plastic centroid kaya ano nga ulit ibig sabihin? Na kapag yung load nilagay mo sa plastic centroid, we will assume, no, na uniform po yung stresses, no? Sabihin yung lahat ng concrete all throughout is nakakaramdam ng 0.85 FC prime and then lahat ng steel nakakaramdam ng sabay-sabay na FY. Parang ganun lang po, class. Okay, so ito naman, geometric centroid. Okay, so next question. So what if meron daw ultimate load 4155 na tumatama at 420 mm to the right of line 1. So 420, so siguro lagay natin dito. Ayan, may PU dito na. Ay, wag na tayo dito mag-drawing, no? I think may enlarge ko naman yan. So, ano daw yung magiging resulting bending moment? So, class, dito na magiging importante yung plastic centroid. So, di ba nandito nga yung plastic centroid, class? So, gaano nga kalayo to, class? So, ito yung calculated natin kaninang nasa A, 285.70. Ngayon, ang load nandito daw po, class. Si summer here, PU, which is 4155 kilonewtons. And then, its position is what? 420 mm. So, parang wala siya dun sa sentro. Eh, di ba ang property lang naman, class, kapag nasa sentro kasi ang force, therefore, magiging actually loaded member po siya, no? So, walang moment involved. But ito, since merong nabuong eccentricity, so eccentricity is the distance ng location ng force from the considered center. Ito yung E. So, merong madedevelop na moment. And then, as you may remember, moment is force times the eccentricity E. So, kunin natin yung force, 4155 kilonewton. So, eccentricity from the figure is 420 minus yung 285, no? So, kaso, I believe naka-ano to, no? Ayan, naka-kilonewton meter yung answers. So, gawin ko ng meters. Gawin ko ng meters, no? So, I have here 0.42 minus 0.28570 and then this is naka meters na. Okay, so what would be the moment? Okay, so sa calci parang ganito lang yan, no? 4155 quantity 0.42 minus yung nasa A. Kaso naka mm yun, no? So divide ko ng 1,000. Ayan, sagot. 558.03 kilonewton meter. So this should be the answer, wherein the nearest is, ayan, letter A. Okay, so most likely, pag mga ganitong hindi saktong-sakto, so you may try to use yung previously calculated value, no? So, di ba dito, naka-round off na siya. 286. So, try nyo, class, no? What if yun yung ginamit? Pero kasi, as I remember, pag nagpapa-exam sa PISAD, no? Mga exact quantity yung ginagamit. So, try nyo na lang din, class, no? Kung medyo duda kayo, so try nyo yung nasa choices na 0.286, no? Yung naka-round off na. Okay, magkano to? So, ayun, no? Mas malapit, no? 556. Okay, but anyways, the concept is the same. So, okay, that would be our answer. Alright. So, dito na po tayo sa last situation for this lecture video. So, sabi daw po, refer to the figure and use the RC1. So, a reinforced concrete building floor system consists of a continuous beam as shown. So, the ultimate distributed load, W sub U, is 10 kN per meter. So, let us use daw L to be 4.5. And then, column dimension would be 500 by 500. And then, assume daw point A to be resting on a 500 by 500 column. And then, kung meron din daw spandrel beam, so the dimension B by D is 300 by 500. So, ano daw yung moment sa B, O, and I? Tingnan natin yung figure. So, ito daw yung continuous beam, class, no? So, yung mga interior supports are column as well as yung A in state. Yung A daw parang nakatungtong sa column. And then, itong last point here, point O. So, ito yung feeling kong spandrel beam. So, pinagagamit si RC1. So, according to our questionnaire, so, ito daw po yung RC1, no? Pinagagamit daw tayo ng simplified method of analysis for non-pre-stressed continuous beams and one-way slab. So, parang gagamitan natin siya ng NSCP coefficients. So, ito po, no, for reference. Okay, so balikan muna natin, class, yung magiging figure dito. So, with respect to the moments, no, as we may remember, moment when the end is pinned or naka-roller, automatic moment here is 0. Tapos, di ba, gradually, papunta somewhere in the middle is positive and then negative sa may support. So, negative, maging positive, maging negative. Negative, maging positive, maging negative. Negative, maging positive, maging negative. And hanggang ganun dito. Ganun din. Negative, positive, naging negative. Okay. So, as you may remember, for moment, may automatic tayong W L squared, no? So, ang kulang na lang natin, class, is yung over something. So, using the NSCP coefficients, yan, MU. Yan. The ultimate moment may be approximated as W L squared over something. So, doon tayo sa over something. So, dito, di ba 0? Automatic. Practice lang tayo, class, no? So, pag-usapan natin yung mga positive moments. Okay, just in case nalimutan nyo na paano gamitin. Anyways, basahin nga muna natin. Okay, bago daw ito magagamit, class, kailangan, so, ano yun muna natin, tagalin natin yung calcu. Okay, kailangan masatisfy muna yung 5 conditions. Una, members are prismatic. That should be meaning na pantay-pantay po yung cross-section. So, hindi siya yung parang tapered structures, no, na lumalaki o lumiliit yung dimension. Loads are uniform. So, check na tayo dyan. So, check din tayo dito, no? Saka dito. Dito, dahil hindi naman nabanggit yung distribution ng live saka dead, so we will assume na na-satisfy natin, no? Na yung live load is less than 3 times ng dead load. So, there are at least 2 spans, no? Sobrang dami nga nating span. And then, the longer of the 2 adjacent spans does not exceed the shorter by more than 20%. Check tayo dyan, class, kasi babalikan natin yung figure, puro L ito. Eh di, hindi na natin po problemahin yung kung may mas mahaba or maikli po ba. Kasi pantay-pantay lang naman. Okay? So, dito tayo sa paggamit, no? So, pag nasa end span daw, kapag yung discontinuous end ay may support over 14. Kapag naman unrestrained, ibig sabihin either, yun nga, nakatungtong lang, as if parang may roller lang, or may pin connection sa dulo. So, kumbaga, wala siyang, tawag dito, wala siyang resistance sa moment, kumbaga, no? Gamitan daw ng over 11. O, punta natin yung end span. So, di ba, ito yung mga end span dyan eh. End span and span. Oh, ito, over. Balikan nga natin. 14 kapag may support, 11 kapag unrestrained, no? At the discontinuous end. Okay, so ano lalagay natin? So, dahil itong discontinuous end dito ay as if parang nakatungtong lang, walang moment resistance. So, therefore, we use dun sa positive, nearest to it as 11. While on the other end span, dito sa kabilang dulo, okay, wait lang. Ayan, dito, no? So, ito naman ay may support, no? Integral. Ibig sabihin, parang monolithically casted, no? Magkasama sila dito, class. So, gamitan daw ng over 14. Kuha po ba? Okay, doon naman tayo sa mga positive moments na nasa interior span. So, kapag interior span, kahit saan daw yan, over 16. Okay, balikan lang natin. So, ito yun, no? Lahat ng positive na nasa gitna na. Kasi itong lahat ng to, ano na to eh. Interior span. So, puro over 16. Alright? O, doon naman tayo sa mga negative moments. So, simulan natin sa yung loob na mukha daw ng exterior support. So, kapag spandrel beam, ang sumusuporta, 24. Pero kapag column, 16. So, again, ito ay exterior support tapos yung interior face niya. O, tingin. So, this one here is the exterior support. So, may mukha siya, di ba? Ito yung exterior face. Ito yung interior face. So, interior face tayo, class. Ibig sabihin nyo, nandito yung pinag-uusapan. Okay? So, ano dalalagay? Kapag spandrel beam, ang gagamiting over ay 24, right? Pero kung yan ay napatunayang column, ang gagamitin ay 16. Kuha. Okay, next. Doon naman tayo sa exterior face ng unang interior support. So, kapag 2 spans lang, over 9. Pero kapag more than 2, over 10. Okay, so hanapin muna natin yung first interior support. So, yung una. Ito kasing lahat ng ito, yan, yung 4 na poste na yan, mga ano yan eh, interior support sila. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung una dyan is ito, no? Ito una, ito una. No? Kumbaga, considering from the left ka nagbibilang, okay, from left ka nagbibilang, ito yung exterior, ito yung unang interior. Kapag naman dito ka sa right nagbibilang, ito yung exterior, ito yung unang interior. So, may dalawa na naman siyang face, no? So, parang ito yung exterior face, ito yung interior face. Kuha po ba? Dito sa kabilang side, ito yung exterior niya, ito yung interior niya. So, kapag 2 spans, over 9. Kapag more than 2, over 10. So, ibig sabihin, ito dito, over 10. Ito dito, over 10. Okay, konti na lang. Ayan na. Face of all other supports ng mga natira, gawin mo daw over 11. Okay? O, sino pa bang natira dito? So, yung mga walang label, ito, no? 11, 11, 11. Ayan, puro over 11. So, yun. Ang importante naman dito, class, marunong kayo mag-interpret ng code para magamit nyo lang siya ng at ease, no? Okay, so, kompleto na, class. Pwede na natin gamitin. Pero, class, okay, bago natin malimutan. Okay, may binanggit dito, class, no? I want to highlight this, na kapag negative moment, ano daw ang sinasabi? To calculate it, the value of ln, no? Kasi mga naka-ln yan, class, eh. The ln should be the average of the adjacent clear spans. So, tatandaan nyo yun, class, no? For negative moment lang naman. For positive moment, tapos, ito pa, no? For shear, which is here, yung ln, gagamitin mo siya as is, kung sang segment po tayo nag-analyze, no? But, again, for negative moment, it should be the average of the adjacent spans. Okay, so, i-highlight ko rin pala, class, no? Importante ito. Ayan, that is W ln squared divided by something, where ln is the clear span. So, kunin muna natin, class, yung mga clear span. Halimbawa, dito, ln1. Sabihin ko itong ln2, ln3, ln4, ln5. So, when you say clear span, you have to deduct the dimension of the supports. So, dito, ln1 is, magkano nga yung L? Center to center is 4.5. Okay? So, this one here is 4.5. Diba sabi, ito ay ano daw? Parang nakatungtong sa column to, diba? Column. Na 500 by 500. So, half ng 500 sa A. Half ng 500 sa may C. So, parang minus 500, no? 4,500 minus 500. Magiging 4 meters ito. So, the same applies here, no? Half of the column from both ends, di minus parang 500 lang din. So, tig for 4 lang ito, no? Tig for 4, except this. Kasi dito, 4.5 minus kalahati ng 500 sa may M, but sa O kasi, is spandrel. So, ano yung babawas doon? Kalahati ng 300. So, syempre, kakalki tayo. Kano yun? Okay, balik tayo ng mode 1. 4, 5 minus ng kalahati ng 500 at M. And at the other end, kalahati ng base dimension na 300. So, divided by 2. So, how much is this? 4, 1. Okay. So, this one here is 4.1 meter. So, dito pipiliin ko class yung 24 kasi sinabi is spandrel beam. Okay? So, sino mga tinatanong class? BOI. So, focus na tayo. Okay. So, moment at B would be W. Ilan nga yun? 10. So, lista muna natin, oh. Yung given. W is 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So, we have here 10. Okay, huwag tayo dito magsulat sa taas. Dito na lang. MB. So, W10. Length is 4. And then squared over. Ang over niya ay 11. So, MB equals 10 times 4 squared divided by 11. So, we have 14.55. So, ganun lang kabilis, no? Kilonewton meter. Next, moment at O. So, sino ba si O sa figure? So, negative po siya, no? So, nandito siya sa dulo. Negative. Ano nga ang ginagawa doon, class? Eh, di average. Kaso dito kasi sa O, okay, wala na tayong ma-average eh. 4.1 lang yung adjacent sa kanya. So, wala na siyang adjacent on the other side. So, gagamitin ko dun, class. Okay, for O. Sulat muna natin, no? Simulan natin sa pagkuha ng ln. So, dahil isa lang yung nakadikit sa kanya, 4.1 lang, no? Okay, wait nga. Diretso na natin. Moment at O is W 4.1 squared divided by ano yung denominator niya, class? Over 24. Okay, again ha, ln natin dito is 4.1. No? Even though sabi nga, i-average. Wala kasi tayong ma-average eh. Okay, so let us use as is. So, ilan po itong MO? So, 10, 4.1 divided by 24. Okay, sagot 7.00 kilonewton meter. Okay, and then I believe yung isang point ay I. So, ito yung I, class. This one. So, negative na naman. So, dito, dahil may adjacent spans po tayo, so yung ln na gagamitin ko is average, no? Bali, ln 3 plus ln 4 divided by 2. So, buti na lang, class, no? Pantay lang naman. Kaya, it is simply as 4 meters. So, moment at I is W10. ln is yung calculate na 4 squared divided by anong denominator niya, class? 11. E di para siyang kamukha nung kanina na 14.55 kilonewton meter. Alright, and that's it. Ganun lang naman, class. So, let us check if we are correct. So, check, check, and check. Alright, so yun, medyo napahaba lang yung discussion natin for this lecture video, but I hope na nagets po ninyo and I hope nakatulong po sa inyo. So thank you so much for watching. So see you sa next part ng mga discussion natin ng solution sa exam po na ito. So thank you so much and God bless po.